when you saw that the new Mary Poppins movie came out, if you saw the original movie, then you probably wondered who's in the new one and does anybody come back? Well, Emily Blunt's the new Mary Poppins, if you haven't already heard. So where's this Julie Andrews who played the original Mary Poppins? Dick Van Dyke pops up in the new movie. He played Bert the Chimney Sweep in the original movie, but Julie Andrews ended up being in Aquaman with Jason Momoa instead of with Emily Blunt in Mary Poppins. Why? 54 years since the original Mary Poppins came out in 1964, and she ends up being in Aquaman. She won an Academy Award for it, so why doesn't she even show up at all in the new movie? You'd think she'd be back. She's not. Here's why she's not. Apparently, the director of the new movie, Rob Marshall, and the team, along with Julie Andrews, thought that there just wasn't enough room for her in the new one. Marshall told Variety that Julie Andrews was offered the role, but she immediately said no. She said, "This is Emily's show, and I want her to run with this. She should run with this. This is hers, and I don't want to be on top of that." Emily Blunt plays the same version of Mary Poppins, which might have made it confusing too. Marshall said he never tried to get her in a specific role, but someone who knew about the production said that the producers were thinking about her for the balloon lady that was played by Angela Lansbury. Emily Blunt said she was hands off with the whole thing. She said she didn't talk to Julie but had her support. She said there was talk of her coming to do something in the movie, but that she was generous. Rob said that Julie said, "Do you know what this is? This is Emily's version of her, and I don't want it to be that she's playing Mary Poppins the whole way through, but then I come in and there's like, oh, but there's the real Mary Poppins, you know?" A producer also said she wasn't supposed to be in it at all, and that she's a friend of everyone's and a big fan of Emily Blunt and was great about it, and that it's Emily Blunt's turn and that she's happy for her, and they were saying that it's a different story and a different time, and the two are separately great. So how Julie Andrews end up in Aquaman? Well, the director of Aquaman, this James Wan, saw that she was available and he put her in the movie. He said the irony wasn't lost on him. He said he loves her and he wanted the Kraken to be a girl's voice because he said girls' voices are the most powerful. He doesn't know why, but he wanted her to be British. And he thought of Julie Andrews for that role. And he thought she was great in it. Also, I heard she said because her grandson is a fan of his, and possibly because this darker role might be something different for her. This might be some huge genius on James Wan's part if somehow he saw that the new Mary Poppins movie was coming out, and he must have known who the competition would be when the release date was set years ago, and he just checked and found out who would be playing in it. And who knows, these directors probably know everything in the movie industry. Maybe check out these secret news sites. But if he saw that the new Mary Poppins movie was coming out, and he checked out who was in it, and he saw that Julie Andrews wasn't in it, he could have decided to throw her in his movie to help it out even more. Mary Poppins must have been brought that new movie kind of brought her on the radar. It's not like you even think of Julie Andrews as playing anything. She hasn't played much in 7 years. The only movie she was in for the last 7 years was in Despicable Me. She's 83. Either way, she's turned her return into a success here. She seems very good at picking winners, and she has here, with Aquaman reaching over $800 million at the box office, and Mary Poppins return scratching $200 million. This might just have had to do with good movies. She probably read through the scripts for both movies deeply and figured out that the Mary Poppins return script was not that great, and that Aquaman had a script that was really good, and she picked the better role. If the Mary Poppins return script had been better, she may have returned. It really seems like they just couldn't write a good enough script to bring her back, and as such is the case, it was better to have Emily Blunt run the movie than be confusing, bringing Julie Andrews back in an appearance that takes away from the movie. And Aquaman was the better movie. What do you think about Julie Andrews being an Aquaman instead of the new Mary Poppins movie? Leave your comments below and check out my other videos and subscribe.